with us this evening, he would surely want each and every one of you to know that he graciously accepts your inability to pay your rent, and that he is willing to allow you to do some of his work so that we might lessen gaps between the employed and the unemployed. The gap between the haves and the have-nots, the gap between social and economic despair, the gap between time zones, date lines, measures of the day and year, the gap between dreamers and egoists, lovers and the love-me-nots, the gap between the America that was and the America that is, the ignorance that was and that isn't. Isn't it enough to eat and drink what you want without having to think about where it comes from, where does it come from? The gap between knowing and caring, the gap between bullets and targets, target audiences and target consumers, the gap between religious thought and capitalist doctrine, dogmatic views and serious-mindedness, the gap between one word and the next as if a sentence might alter its apparent structure, the gap between compounds and structures, the death of man, the birth of God, the hooded clan, the hooded boy, the gap between the haves and the have-nots, those who steal, those who buy, the price of cotton and the price of coltan. Citizens, children of the night, bearers of the day, torch scorched and burn, burn not, the dam is broken, the curse is fled. Once muddied and still the river runs red. All those ships that never sailed, the ones with their seacocks open, that lied scuttled in their stalls, today I bring them back, huge and intransitory, and let them sail forever, forever their recurrence uncurrent. The wind cannot serve as truth's currency. Currently moon-marked and sun-sparked, unmarked bills, will I am certain I speak a new language, as is always the first sign of a new age. The greatest Americans have not been born yet. They are waiting patiently for the past to die. Please give blood. Those crumbled tablets where to share a story with a burning bush. Where is that voice from nowhere to remind us that the holy ground we walk on, purified by native blood, has rooted trees whose fallen leaves now color-code a sacred list of demands? Who among us get translation of autumn hues to morning news? The anchor man thrown overboard has simply rooted us in history's repeating cycle. A nation in its saddened years that won't acknowledge karma. Where is that voice from nowhere? The ones your prophet spoke of. For I hear voices of fear, disconnected from their diaphragms, dangling from coffee-covered teeth that spill into our laps and scorch our privates. There are voices from the sides of necks, some already noosed, dangling participles, pronouns running for sentence, serving life in corner offices and ghetto corners. Their voices are the same, dead to themselves, numb to the possibility of truth existing beyond that which they can palm in their hands, period. There are voices of elders, which seem to do no more than damn us to our childish ways, for in many households, wisdom no longer comes with age. So where is that voice from nowhere, that burning bush, that passing dove? For I hear the voice of generals calling for ammunition, presidents calling for arms, and women calling for help. Where is that voice from nowhere, that God of Abraham? Can he be heard over the gunfire, the whiz of passing missiles, the crash of buildings, the shriek of sirens, the crack of bones, the cries of children? Or is that his mighty voice? Your angry God craving the sacrifice of virgin generation, sons degenerate. Your holy books written in red ink on burning sands. Your prayers between rounds who no more than fasten the fate of your children to the hammer truth of your trigger. A truth that mushrooms this darkened cloud of the rest of us, so we too bear witness to the short-lived fate of a civilization that worships a male God. Your weapons are phallic, all of them. That dummy that sits in your lap is no longer a worthwhile spectacle. His shrunken pale face is no room for imagination. We are spotting and moving lips that bring the voice to its proper source. It is a source of madness, a source of hunger for power, a source of weakness, a source of evil. We are exiting your coliseum and encircling your box office, demanding our families back, our culture back, our language back, our gods back. So we return them to the proper source, the source of life, the source of creation, our mother's womb, the great goddess. We will wait through the barbed wire hangers and chastity belts. We will climb in and incubate our spirits through the winter's discontent. We will wait for the past to die.